Hi, it's Teri with a Vinyasa Foundations Flow class. This is designed for everybody, those students that are fairly new to the practice, to help you understand a little bit more of the alignment principles, building your flow foundations from the floor all the way up, and also for more experienced practitioners to help you understand a little bit more of the fine-tunement of your alignment, help you get a little bit more deeply into a pose, get a little bit more sensation into your pose. So let's just have some fun. Take your time. Blocks or a book or something for support is always recommended if you want to bring the floor up to you when you're in a forward fold. Just take whatever you can and meet me on our backs. Head at the back of your mat. Bend your knees. Separate your feet about mats with distance apart. Let your knees knock together for constructive rest. Place a hand on your belly, a hand on your chest. In yoga, what separates this form of practice versus any other form of exercise is the breath. So as you tune into your breath, breathe in for 3, from the belly, 2 to the chest, all the way up to the chin, 1. And as you exhale, slowly let the air out, coming all the way down from the throat, the chest, through the ribs to the belly. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Slowly exhale for 3, 2, 1. 3 more rounds. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. One more round of breath in, the belly, the ribs, the chest, the throat. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. You bring your arms down by your sides, palms face down. Separate your knees and just drop them over towards the right. And back to center. Exhale over towards your left. And back to center. As you exhale over to your right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to your left. Inhale back to center. One more round. Exhale over to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale to your left. Inhale back to center. Keep your knees bent, but lift your feet off the floor. Knees are directly over your hips. Shin bones are parallel to the floor. You're creating a 90-degree angle with your hips. You're creating a 90-degree angle with your knees. Hug the belly in. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower your knees over towards your left. Make sure your right knee is still aligned over your left. Go as low as you can without touching. Inhale back to center. As you exhale over towards your right, go all the way as far as you can, left knee on top of right. Inhale, center. Again, exhale, twist to your left. Inhale to center. Exhale to your right. Inhale to center. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a little bit of a squeeze. Rock and roll up and down several times to into a seated position. Crossing your legs, easy seated pose. If you notice that you're rounding into your lower back, just set on a block, a book, even a rolled up towel or blanket. This way, when you sit on the block or the support, your frontal hip points can come a little bit ahead of your pubis, so then you don't have this excessive rounding in your lower back. You might find a lot more comfort in this if it's this way. Otherwise, bring your hands to your knees. Bring your chest through the shoulders. Look up. As you exhale, round the spine. Send your way back. Arms become straight. Inhale, lead with the chest. All the way up, shoulders back, look up. Exhale, hug the belly in as you round the spine. It's a variation of cat and cow. Inhale, pull the chest forward, shoulders pull back. Exhale, hug the belly in as you drop back. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Sweep your arms way overhead. Insides of your elbows are spinning towards your ears. Hike your shoulders way up towards your ears. Notice how that lift up at the ribs away from the back waist. Keep that lift, but soften your shoulder blades down. Maintaining this, take another breath in, hug the belly in. As you exhale, tent your left fingertips to the left, stretch over towards your left, anchor in your right Hip down towards the right to the mat. Look underneath your right shoulder and lean back into the support of the shoulder blades. It's a bit of a gentle back bend in your upper back. Breath in, come back to center. Right hand steps down, left arm reaches over your head. Reach over towards your right. Find this sense of stretch and space between your rib basket. Press into your right hand. Find a little bit more lift of the ribs. Lead to the left chest as you open up to the ceiling. Nice big stretch in. Maybe a little bit more of a bend over when you breathe out. Inhale back to center, arms reach back up overhead. As you exhale, lead to the center of your chest as you're twisting towards the left. So the lower body is anchored down to the floor. Arms are still reaching brightly up, so you know you aren't yanking your way around. You're using your core strength. You're spinning the rib basket around the center of your spine. Eventually bring your arms out to a T. Take a breath in, maintain your twist. Broaden into your collarbones, find a little bit more of a twist. One more round of breath in, pull the navel into the spine, relax your shoulders, a little bit more of a twist. Bring your arms back up overhead. As you exhale, twist over towards your right. Pull the navel into the spine, lift the chest up. Find a little bit more of a revolution, a rotation of the rib basket. 2 more cycles of breath in, breath out for the twist. Lengthen when you breathe in, relax your shoulders, twist when you breathe out. Inhale, bring your arms back up overhead. As you exhale, lower your hands to the floor, come into a tabletop position, hands and knees. Fingers are spread wide, shoulders are directly aligned over your wrists, knees are directly underneath your hips. Another variation of cow and cat, arms stay straight as you draw the chest to the shoulders, tilt the head, tilt the tailbone. Exhale, hug the belly in, round the spine, let the head and neck relax. Again, inhale, draw the chest to the shoulders, look up. Exhale, hug the belly in as you round the spine. 2 more rounds. Inhale, pull the chest forward, firm weight in all of your knuckles. Exhale, round the spine, hug the belly in, let your head drop down. 1 more time. Inhale, pull the chest to the shoulders. As you exhale, round the spine. Come back to neutral. Raise your right shin off the floor. Draw your right knee out to the right. And just create a circle. You're drawing your knee in towards your chest. Firm weight on both hands. Just starting to warm up your hips a little bit. You can point your toes if you'd like. Firm weight on both hands. Good. Eventually, coming back to neutral. Walk your way all the way up into a kneeling position. Hands on your hips. Slide your right leg out to the right. Make sure it's lined up with the center of your body. Arms reach overhead. Right hand down. Place the back of your hand on the outside of your leg so you aren't tempted to press into the leg. Reach the left arm overhead and find that side body stretch again. Keep reaching and lengthening. Roll the left chest up. Find a little bit more of a stretch. Breath in back to center. Step your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Right arm reaches overhead. It's a modified side plank. You can either stay here or press weight into your left hand and raise your right leg up. You can curl your toes towards your shin so that you're nice and level in your hip. Right arm can reach overhead. Find a beautiful stretch. Make sure you're not collapsing into your left shoulder. Press into your left hand. Lengthen a little bit more. Feel a little bit more length from your fingertips to your heel. Some of you may want to bend into your back knee. Reach for the foot. Find the foot with your right hand. Draw the hips forward. Press the shoulder blade tips right into the back of the heart. Find a back bend and let your head and neck drop back. But keep pushing the foot into your hand. Find that quad stretch. Find the stretch in front of your right hip, your iliopsoas. Another breath. Release your foot. Bring your right arm overhead. Come back to neutral. Come into a few rounds of cow and cat. Draw the chest to the shoulders for your cow. Exhale, hug the belly in for your cat. Again, inhale, chest pulls forward. Use your breath. As you exhale, round it out. Your breath is like your own personal metronome. Coming back to neutral, draw your left knee out to the left. Keep the knee bent. Create these circles. You can go clockwise, you can go counterclockwise. Just notice if you're listing your way to the right, draw your more weight onto your left hand. Eventually, coming back to neutral. Come all the way back up into a kneeling position, hands on hips. Draw your left leg long out to the side. Bring your arms outstretched. Left hand, the back of the hand on the side of the leg, right arm reaches overhead. Lengthen when you breathe in, find that side stretch, all the space between your ribs, your intercostal muscles. Roll your right shoulder back a bit more. Notice if it's scooched up to your ear, soften it back down. Inhale, come back to center, right hand down, left arm up. Make sure your right shoulder is directly over your wrist. Staying here, or pump more weight into your right hand to raise your left leg up for modified side plank. Bring your left arm by your ear, reach and lengthen. Or perhaps bending into your left knee, reach for your foot. Push the foot away from you into a modified half bow, half moon rising called Shavasana. Push the foot into your hand. Lean your head back. Another breath. Slowly release the foot, left arm up. Land your left foot back down. Come back into your tabletop position. Swing your left knee underneath your left hip. Another round of cow-cat to neutralize everything. Draw the chest to the shoulders. Exhale, round the spine. Send the spine to the ceiling. Come back to neutral. Walk your hands about 3 inches in front of you. Shift your weight so that your shoulders are over your wrists. It's a modified plank, a mini plank. As you exhale, bend your elbows, come halfway down. Feel the elbows slide against the side body for a push-up. Inhale, push right back up. As you exhale, send your hips back towards child's pose, balasana. Let your head and neck relax. Inhale, back into your mini plank. This is a diagonal line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Belly's engaged, no collapsing. As you exhale, elbow points skim the side body. They don't wing out like chicken wings. Pull the chest forward as you lower down. Forearms become parallel. Inhale, push right back up. Exhale, pull your hips back towards child's pose. Adding on, inhale into your mini plank. As you exhale, elbows slide against the side body, lower all the way down onto the chest and belly. Slide your hands a little bit further back. Lift the chest and shoulders off the floor. Pin your elbows towards one another, shoulder blades towards one another for baby cobra bhujangasana. Press the pelvis into the floor, hug the belly in. Relax and soften into the tops of the shoulders. As you exhale, lower it down. Press your way back towards child's pose. 2 more rounds like this. Inhale into your modified plank. Exhale, slowly lower down as you pull the chest forward, elbows skim the side body. Inhale, baby cobra, shoulders back, elbows together. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, push your way back towards child's pose. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, pulling the chest forward. Inhale, baby cobra or bhujangasana. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, pull your way back to child's pose. Now this time, tuck your toes. Send your hips high, down dog in an inverted V. Make sure your inner arms are spinning towards one another. So if you were to bend your elbows a little bit, the elbow points would actually face the back of the room, not out to the sides. As you spread your fingers well, make sure you have firm weight in all of your knuckles, particularly the thumb and the index knuckles, that webbing between those 2 digits. Press into the hands to get a little bit more length in the torso. Lift your kneecaps up. Feel your quads engage. Perhaps settle your heels a little bit more to the floor. Relax the head and neck. So there should be a sense of softness between your upper shoulders. But as you're pressing down into the hands, you're pulling up and back with the legs. Stay here for another 2 breaths. Remember to anchor into the belly. It's almost like finding a cow variation in your lower back, just a subtle rounding so you aren't collapsing into the chest and you aren't collapsing into the belly. On your next inhalation, come into a high plank position. Lower your knees, come onto your forearms, and step back into a forearm plank. As you press into your forearms, they should be parallel. Fingers are still spread well. Draw your thigh bones towards your hamstrings. Pull your heels back. Draw your front ribs towards your frontal hip points. Feel that cinching up in the core. That's definitely supporting the back body. The neck is long. Look at the space between your thumbs. Breathing here for another 5. 4. Press down, lift up, pull the heels back, chest forward. For 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees, slide all the way down onto the chest and belly. Slide your forearms just a little bit farther forward so that your elbows are just slightly ahead of your shoulders. Fingers are still spread wide. Press into the forearms and lift the chest up. And drop your left ear to the left shoulder. Drop your chin to your chest. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Drop your chin to your chest. Gradually find a little bit more space in the front body as you pull your chest forward and look forward. Another breath here. As you exhale, slowly lower it down. Press into your palms. Send your way back to a downward facing dog. Hips are high. Take a breath in. And let it go. Coming through a modified vinyasa. You can always skip your vinyasas anytime during a practice. You can always come into child's pose or cat-cows. Just make sure your breath is still consistent and rhythmic. As you breathe in into a high plank position, shoulders over wrists. Pull your heels back, pull your chest forward, very similar to your forearm plank. Front body supporting the back body by pulling the belly in. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, lower all the way down onto the chest and belly. Inhale, baby cobra, bhujangasana, shoulders back. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, press your way back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, inhale into your high plank. Exhale, lower the knees and tuck the toes, slide all the way down to chest and belly. Inhale, baby cobra, bhujangasana. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale, press your way back to downward facing dog. Doing this exactly the same, or ramping it up just a bit. Inhale into a high plank position. Staying here without lowering your knees. Exhale, lower halfway down through Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows skim the side body, or come all the way down to the floor. As you breathe in, flip onto the tops of your toes and onto the feet. Pull your shoulders back, lift your thighs off the floor for an upward facing dog. Shoulders are directly aligned over your wrists. If they aren't, you can just scoot your feet forward or backwards. Open the chest even more. In baby cobra, continue to squeeze your shoulder blades together. One more breath. On the exhalation, find your way to your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 3 cycles of breath. Continue to push the floor away with the hands. Continue to send the hips high. Legs are engaged. Head is heavy, neck is long. On your next inhalation, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk gently or jump lightly to the top of your mat. As you breathe in, lengthen chest forward, shoulders back. Ardha Uttanasana, a half forward fold. Pull your way towards the balls of your feet. Long line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Hands can come to knees or shins or even to blocks. As you exhale, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lengthen. Hands can slide up to your knees, your shins. Pull your chest forward, rock your way forward. Exhale, hug the belly in as you bow it down, forward fold. 1 more round. Inhale to lengthen, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Bring a little bit of a bend into your knees, slowly rolling up 1 vertebra at a time. Feeling that firm, equal pressure on both feet, front and back, side to side. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Nice extension in the torso, just like when you're sitting down. Relax your shoulders, reach up just a little bit more. As you exhale, bring your hands together at the center of your chest in prayer position, Samastitihi, equal standing. In mountain pose, arms are by your sides, palms face forward. Shoulder heads are relaxed. Tailbone is drawing down. Pubis is lifting up to find a nice neutral pelvis. You don't want to have your bum sticking out. As you engage into your quads, you're lifting your kneecaps up. It's almost as if you're trying to draw the insides of your thighs away from one another. And then do the opposite. And you might notice a little bit more space in your lower back. So try to press a little bit more weight to the outer edges of your feet. Roll your shoulders forward and up. Deep breath in. Open mouth, breath out. Let it go. Good. Another round of breath in. Shoulders pulling forward and up. Open mouth, breath out. Let it go. On your next breath in, bring your arms by your ears. Reach high. As you exhale, twist to your left. Bring your arms outstretched. Keep your both hip bones square to the top of the mat. Take another breath in your twist. Lift and lengthen. A bit more twist when you breathe out. Inhale back to center. Exhale, find your twist to the right. Pull your left hip back. Lead to the center of the chest as you twist a bit more to your right, broadening into the collarbones. Legs are still engaged. Breath in, back to center, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, hinge all the way down for your forward fold, chest to thighs. Breath in, lengthen, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Breath in, big sweep up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Lift and lengthen, stretch over towards the left. Look underneath your right shoulder. Relax your right shoulder down. Lift your kneecaps up. Little bit of a C curve, way out to the right. Inhale back to center. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Lift and lengthen, stretch over towards your right. Pull your left hip out to the side. Feel your legs brighten up. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, release your wrist Follow the chest and the breath all the way back down for your forward fold. Take a breath into lengthen, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat for a low runner's lunge. Your hands can be on blocks, fingertips can be lightly on the floor. Press into your left foot to pull your left hip back. Lift your right thigh bone up towards the ceiling. Your right heel should be nice and high to pull your right hip forward. Hips are nice and square. So from a bird's eye perspective, they're nice and flat and level to the ceiling. Pulling your chest forward, press into your left heel to hug your left hip back. Find that firm engagement in the lower body. Staying here for another 2 breaths, perhaps challenging yourselves, you can bring your arms by your sides into an airplane pose, hovering the chest and belly just lightly over your left thigh for another breath. Release your hands to the floor, step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Breath in, big sweep up, bring your arms by your ears. As you exhale, hinge down for a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat, low runner's lunge on this side. Right foot presses into the floor. Right outer hip swings back to midline, hip pulling in and back. Left hip pulls forward to line evenly with the right. Left heel is lifted high. The firm weight on the ball of your left foot allows you to accomplish this. Continue to hug the belly in. For the last 2 breaths in your low runner's lunge, maybe airplane, arms back, palms face down. Pull the hands forward as you pull your chest forward. Feel your left leg get a lot more engaged for another breath. Hands to the floor, step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Breath in, lengthen chest forward. Breath out, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastitihi, equal standing. Coming through a vinyasa. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Remember to modify as necessary. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, hands by your feet, step back to a high plank. Stay here for a breath, perhaps lowering your knees or not. Exhale, lower down halfway or all the way to the mat. Inhale for baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Remember your thighs are off the floor, shoulders back. Exhale, curl over your toes, everybody meet in a downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. On your next inhalation, leading with your right inner thigh, raise your right leg up. Raise it up as high as you can, but keep pulling your left heel back in space. Pull your left hip back even more. Raise your right leg even more. Keep it elevated as you bend your right knee. Open your hip. That means try to stack your right hip on top of your left. Notice if you start to lose weight on your right hand, regain that so that your shoulders can be square to the top of the mat and you're twisting at the lower body. Continue to find more stretch behind your left leg. Open up, draw your knee towards the ceiling a little bit more. This should feel quite good. Take another breath. Square off the hips, extend the right leg. As you exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. You don't want to be on a tightrope, which is why I said to the right thumb. So your feet are about maybe hips width distance apart in space, width-wise. Same as you're in your low lunge. Remember your right hip is pulling back, left hip is pulling forward. Left hand can be on the floor or perhaps a block or a book. Bring your right hand to your right hip, pull your right hip back. Keep lengthening your left leg. Draw your left chest forward. Spin your ribs to your right inner thigh, bring your right arm over your head. Keep pressing into your left hand to get a little bit more length from your palm to your fingertips. Continue to squeeze the inner thighs, the outer hips together. Stay here for another breath. Come back to center. Both hands to the mat. Step back to a downward facing dog, hips are high. Take an inhale and let it go. Same thing, other side. Raise your left leg long back behind you. Pull your right hip back. Raise the left leg. Lead with the inner thigh initially. Bend your left knee. Open your hip. You might notice a difference from one side to the other. Keep pressing firm weight into your left hand to get more length from your left hip bone to your left shoulder. Press into your right hand. Get some more stretch and length in the right side waist as well. Knee up to the ceiling just a little bit more. As you square off the hips, extend your left leg. Bring your knee into your chest, up your left foot all the way to the top of the mat to your left thumb. If it doesn't come all the way up, just use your hand to help you bring it forward. A lot of people do that. Press into your left foot, hug your left hip back. Pull your right hip forward even more. Right hand on the floor or block. Left hand to your left hip, pull your left hip back. Press down into your right hand, pull your chest forward, hug the belly in. Lead with the center of the chest as you spin towards your left. Continue to pull your left hip back in space. Left arm reaches overhead. Breath in, pull the chest forward. Breath out, a little bit more rotation. One more round of breath in. Hug the outer hips together. Twist at the upper body as you exhale. Slowly bring your left hand down. Step quietly to a downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa, inhale high plank. Staying here or lowering your knees, exhale lower down halfway or to the floor, chaturanga dandasana, low plank. Inhale baby cobra or upward facing dog, lifting everything off the floor except for the hands and the feet. Exhale, everybody meet in a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 3 cycles of breath. Press down, lift the hips high. Remember, your head is heavy, neck is long. Quads are engaged, belly's pulling in and up. Another inhale and an exhale. On your next inhalation, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or jump lightly to the top of your mat. Breath in, lengthen chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastita, equal standing. Bring your big toe mounds to touch. Bend your knees deeply, Utkatasana. As you send the hips down low, feel your knee slide back just a bit. So you're going to be hinging at your hips. Tailbone is down, pubis is lifting. Again, you want to avoid that overly arching into your lower back. So it's a nice neutral pelvis. Sit back a little bit more. Arms are reaching by your ears, spinning in towards your ears. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your outer hips together. Breathing here for another breath in. Feel the back ribs lift away from the back waist. As you exhale, straighten your legs for a forward fold. Breath in to lengthen, chest forward. As you exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Place your foot at an angle, lowering your heel down. Check in, make sure your left knee is bent a lot. Right leg is straight. Press into your left foot to pull the left hip back. Firm weight on both feet, particularly the outer edge of your back foot. Arms reach overhead. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Slide your left knee forward. Glide the left hip back. Ribs are indicated straight and level to the top of the mat. Right leg is long and firm. You might want to draw your right thigh bone back a bit more. Some of you might want to bend a little bit more deeply into your knee. Take another breath. As you exhale, step to the top of the mat. Bring the hands to the center of your chest. Bring your feet together, bend your knees. Utkatasana chair. As you exhale, straighten your legs, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, bow down, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Anchor the foot down, roll it down. Bring your arms overhead. Deep, deep bend in your right knee, long back leg. Remember, there's weight on the razor edge side of your back foot. Your left inner thigh is pulling up towards the ceiling to help you rotate the left ribs forward. The ribs are nice and square, shoulders are relaxed. Press into your right foot, hug your right hip back. Stay here for another breath. As you exhale, lower your hands to the floor, step to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen chest forward. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest, Samastita, equal standing. Moving at pace, bend your knees, bring your arms forward in Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten your legs, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen chest forward. Exhale, step your right foot to the back. Fold the heel down, arms reach overhead, warrior 1. Breath in, step to the top of the mat, hands to the center of your chest. Other side, bend your knees, bring your arms forward in Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten your legs, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. As you exhale, step to the top of the mat, hands to the center of your chest. One more cycle. Inhale, bend your knees, arms reach overhead. Exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat, fold the heel down, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Step to the top of the mat, hands to the center of your chest. One more round. Inhale, bend your knees, arms reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat at an angle, arms reach overhead, warrior 1. Step to the top of the mat, forward, hands to the center of your chest. Shake it all out. Good. Separate your feet, mats with distance apart. Toes out to the sides. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, bend your knees deeply. Hands come down to the center of your chest. Inhale, straightening the legs. Bring the arms back up overhead. Exhale, lower down into goddess pose. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Reach the arms up. Exhale, slide it down as if you're back sliding against the back wall. Hands to the knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist to your left. Look over your left shoulder. Continue to draw your right knee out. Breath in, back to center. Exhale, twist the opposite way. Look over your right shoulder. One more round. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, back to center. Straighten your legs. Heel toe your feet so that they're hips width distance apart. Grab your big toes with 2 fingers and a thumb. That means the first 2 fingers underneath the pads of the big toes. Wrap your thumb around the outsides of the big toes. Take an inhale. Feel free to soften your knees as much as you need to. Elbows out to the sides. Bow your chest down, head and neck relaxed. Padangusthasana. As you're in this shape, every time you breathe in, you're scooping in the belly, lifting your kneecaps up. Exhale, you'll feel a little bit more of a sense of space in the back body. Let your head and neck dangle. Maybe even roll it around a little bit. Another 2 rounds of breath in. Each breath in is a lengthening of the front of the spine, scooping in the belly. As you exhale, a little bit more release. Soften into the base of the neck. Another round of breath in and a breath out. Release your hands from your big toes. Bring a little bit of a bend into your knees, slowly rolling up 1 vertebra at a time. Arms can dangle down by your side, shoulders pull forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. And coming through vinyasa, inhale, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to your high plank and lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Same exhalation. Your breath in is your upward facing dog or baby cobra. Open up the chest. It's a back bend. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe in. Let it go. Inner arms spin towards your ears. Inhale. Legs engaged, heels to the floor. Exhale. One more cycle of breath in and a breath out. On your next inhalation, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Breath in, lengthen chest forward, hands to your knees, your shins. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest in a Sthita equal standing. It's standing tall at the top of your mat in mountain pose. Notice how the legs are nice and engaged. Press weight onto your left foot. Bring your hands to your hips. Notice how they're nice and level. One hip is not out to the side or up or ever, just nice and level. Bend your right knee and draw your right knee out to the right. So you're actually opening up underneath your hip, right at your thigh joint. Staying here, or perhaps sliding your foot up towards your ankle, inside of your shin, or even grabbing your ankle with your right hand, bring it to the inside of your thigh. Just make sure it's not in the inside of your knee joint. Press the thigh into the foot. Feel a little bit more lift and length. Keep your hands on your hips so you know that your hips are nice and level initially, meaning that you don't want your right hip hiked up. It's nice and level. You can challenge your balance by bringing your arms by your ears. Vrikshasana, tree position. Feel the back ribs lift away from the back waist. Feel a little bit more elongation in the side body, but relax and soften into your shoulders. Breathe here for another 2 and 1. Bring your hands back to your hips. Draw your right knee forward. Straighten your right leg. Lift it up a bit higher, but don't collapse. Maintain that nice long line, crown of head to hips. Lift the right leg up a bit higher. Exhale. Step on your right foot. Draw your left foot behind you, gradually raising your left leg overhead. Arms can be at prayer or in front of you by your ears for a Warrior 3 variation. Roll your left hip down. Left leg is long and working just as well as the right supportive leg. Keep reaching and lengthening the chest forward. Keep lifting your left leg up. Lead to the inner thigh. Hug the belly in. Breathing here for another 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back up, step on your left foot, shake it out. Same thing opposite side, draw your right leg behind you. Arms reach overhead. Press into your left foot, gradually shift your way forward, creating this long line of energy from the crown of your head all the way to your heel. From the fingertips to your shoulders, level things off. Keep pulling the chest forward as you raise your right leg higher. Breathing in for another 3, 2, 1. Gradually bring your way up. Shake it out. Hands to hips. Draw your left knee out to the left. Make sure the hips stay nice and level. Pump all your weight onto your right foot. Left foot can lift. Perhaps even grabbing the foot with your hand. Bring it to the inside of your thigh. Press the thigh into the foot. Feel that lift up of the ribs. Soften into your shoulders if you're bringing your arms overhead. Keep pressing the thigh into the foot. Feel a bit more of an energetic lift in support of your right leg. Another 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your left knee forward. Straighten your left leg in front of you. Lift it up a bit higher for another breath. Settle your left foot to the floor. Shake it all out. Good. Bring your arms by your ears. Reach high. Exhale, hinge down for forward fold. Take a breath in to lengthen chest forward. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, right in the middle of the mat to the back. Fold down your back heel like a warrior 1. Take your right arm to your right thigh. Bring your left arm up and around into a warrior 2. You might want to readjust your stance so you're nice and long. Left leg is long and firm. Arms are brightly out to the sides. And in this pose, the ribs are trying to square towards the side wall. Make sure that your right inside of your right knee is headed towards your pinky toe so you aren't buckling the knee in. There's a slight tilt to the hips so that your front hip, your knee, and your toes are all in the same angle. It's just a little bit of a diagonal. Bring your arms outstretched again. Bend, bend, bend into your right standing leg. Notice if you start to shift forward, pull your left hip down so it lines up with your right. Another breath in, a breath out. Straighten your front leg. Heel toe your right foot in just once to shorten your stance. Reach and lengthen to the front of the room. Left hip is still tilting forward a little bit more. Draw your right hand down, your left arm reaches overhead. Continue to cinch the inner thighs together. Lengthen the right chest forward. Spin the right ribs towards me. Lean the left chest back. Reach up into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Take another 2 breaths. Left leg is firm. Weight onto the outer edge of your left foot. Next breath in, come all the way up. Bring your hands to your hips. Just pivot your feet. Warrior 2 on the opposite side. Make sure there's an angle to your back foot. Long stance, bend into your left knee. Knee should be directly aligned over your ankle. Right leg is long and firm. Arms are reaching out to the sides. Look over your left fingertips. Be very aware of where your hips are in space. They should be directly underneath your shoulders, just like a rectangular box. Arms reaching out brightly, right leg is firm. Maybe you can sink a little bit more deeply. Remember, your left knee is over your ankle. It's aligned directly over the front 2 middle toes. On your next inhalation, straighten your left leg. You can heel toe your right foot in once. Reach and lengthen. Don't sass out your right hip though. Keep the hips nice and firm, but pull the left hip underneath the right just a bit more. Tilt it down, left hand down, right arm is up. Lengthen the left chest towards the back of the room. Spin the ribs around the spine and look over your right shoulder. Continue to cinch the upper inner thighs towards one another. Press into your left big toe mound to draw your thigh bone back. Draw the left ribs even closer towards your left shoulder and find a little bit more of that rotation, leaning the right shoulder blade on top of the left. Another breath. Gradually bring your way up. Hands to your hips. Just step to the top of your mat. Breath in, bring the arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen chest forward. As you exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat, all the way to the back, but in the middle. Bend, bend, bend into your left standing leg. Angle to your back foot. Left forearm to left thigh. Swing your right arm overhead for your warrior 2. Stay with the lower body exactly where it is. Flip your left palm, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm is lightly on your thigh, right arm reaches forward. The pressure of your left forearm on your thigh is to help you draw more length in the left side waist. Find a bit more spin. Lead the left chest towards me, lean the right chest back. But keep reaching and lengthening and reaching and lengthening. Make sure you still have weight in the outer board of your back foot. Another breath. Keep reaching and reaching and reaching. And take a breath out. Inhale back to center. Hands to hips. Pivot your feet. Warrior two on the opposite side. Keep the deep bend in the front knee, long back leg. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. As you exhale, extended side angle, right forearm on right thigh, left arm by your ear. Reach and lengthen. Find the extension first. The quality of your twist, lead with the center of your chest. Pulling your right chest towards me, soften into your left shoulder. Feel all that beautiful stretch from your left fingertips to the outer edge of your back foot. Reach and lengthen for another breath. Inhale, come back to center. Hands to hips, parallel your feet. As you come forward, make sure you aren't sending your bum back. I'm going to dial your front hip points forward as if you're sitting on that block at the beginning of class. Bow it down, follow the chest, follow the breath all the way down. Let your head and neck relax. Hands underneath your shoulders. Come onto your fingertips, lengthen. Pull your way forward so that your weight is towards the balls of your feet. Hug the belly in. Bow it down, forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Again, inhale, come onto your fingertips. Crawl your way forward. Exhale, hug the belly in as you bow it down. Inhale, come back onto your fingertips. Place your left hand a little bit outside of your mat, right underneath your left shoulder to bring your way forward. Right hand to lower back. Make sure your lower back is nice and level to the ceiling. Press into your left hand. Draw the crown of the head away from you. Start to twist towards your right, but keep pulling your left hip back in space. Right arm reaches overhead to the ceiling. Pressing into your left hand, get a little bit more length from the palm to the shoulder, a little bit more length from your left shoulder to your left hip. Find more opportunity to twist as you look over your right shoulder. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly unwind yourselves. Come onto your fingertips to lengthen. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Right hand underneath your right shoulder, left hand to lower back. Press way into your right hand to find more engagement, more length. As you exhale, lead with the center of the chest to the left. Bring your left arm overhead. Notice if you're collapsing into your inner arches, press more weight onto the outer edges of the feet. Press down, lengthen into the torso. Find more twist as you breathe out. One more inhale, find that reach. As you exhale, slowly unwind yourselves. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, lengthening as you breathe in. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, bring your hands to your hips. Breath in all the way up into a standing position. And just heel toe your feet back to center. Step to the top of your mats. Vinyasa, inhale, arms reach overhead. The exhale, hinge down for forward fold. Inhale to lengthen chest forward. Exhale, hands to the floor, step or jump through to your Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and let it go. On your next breath, raise your right leg behind you, three-limb dog. As you exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat to your right thumb. Lower your left knee, sink the hips nice and low. Left hand can be on a block or the floor. Right hand to right knee, slide your chest forward and look over your right shoulder. Continue to hug the right hip in. Press into your left hand. Find a little bit more of a sinking quality into the lower body, but a little bit more lift of the left ribs to the front wall. Spin them towards your right inner thigh. Another breath. Slowly unwind yourselves, straighten your right leg. Just scoot your right heel forward a bit. Lengthen as you breathe in, pull your right hip back. Exhale, bow it down. Half split pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. You can take your fingertips outside the mat. Take a next breath in, pull the center of the chest towards your right knee, and melt it down. Find that beautiful stretch underneath your right hamstrings. One more breath in. Pull your right hip back, bow it down. Then back into your right knee, crawl your way forward. Hands to the floor, tuck your back toes, lift your left knee off the floor. Step back into a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Breath in, raise your left leg behind you, three-limb dog. As you exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat, place your right knee to the floor. Sink the hips nice and low, right hand down. Left hand can come to your left thigh. Slide the left thigh forward as you bend more deeply into your left knee. Press into your right hand, glide the chest forward, Find the twist, but continue to firm the left outer hip back to midline. Look over your left shoulder. Breath in to create the length. A breath out to find your twist. One more cycle of breath in and breath out. Gradually bring your way back to center. Straighten into your left leg. Just scoot your left heel forward a bit. Curl your toes towards your shin. Tense your fingertips outside. Breath in to lengthen. Breath out. Fold forward. Stay in this shape, but lengthen. Draw the front of the spine towards the left knee. Find that beautiful forward fold as your head and neck relax. One more cycle of breath in. Pull the left hip back and breathe out as you fold forward. Bend into your left knee, crawl your way forward. Hands to the floor, tuck your back toes. Step your left foot back into a high plank position. As you exhale, lower all the way down onto the chest and belly. Bring your arms long behind you, palms face down. Roll the heads of the shoulders forward, up and back, a big loop. Shoulder blades together. Gradually lifting your feet off the floor. Lead with the inner thighs so you aren't crunching into your lower back and your glutes. Pulling your arms back behind you as they float off the floor. Pull your chest forward even more. The belly is still engaged. Legs are reaching brightly back. Chest is reaching strongly forward. As you knit your shoulder blades together a little bit more, you might find a little bit more lift. Press into the front of the pelvis. For another 3, Shalabhasana, locust pose for 2. Maybe a little bit more lift up for 1. Slowly lower it down, and you can place your cheek to the floor and just wiggle your hips out a little bit. One more opportunity for a belly down back bend. You can repeat what you just did. You can clasp your hands behind you into a little bit of a basket, straightening the arms, lifting the knuckles away from the lower back, or bending your knees, reaching for the outsides of your feet for bow pose, Dhanurasana. Before you do anything, bring your knees a little bit closer towards one another. Push the feet into the hands. Feel the chest lift up. Shoulder blades are together. Press the pelvis into the floor. Draw your toes up to the ceiling. As you press the feet into the hands, you might feel the thigh muscles lift up. Keep pushing the feet into the hands. Keep drawing the shoulder heads back as you pull the shoulder blades together. Look lightly in front of you so that your head and neck are nice and active extensions of your spine. Wherever you are, you're breathing here for another 3, 2, 1. Slowly settle the thighs down, release your feet. If your hands are clasped, release your clasped hands. And just turn your head the opposite way. Feel free to bend your knees and tuck your feet back and forth a little bit. This helps to neutralize your spine before you do any heavy-duty rounding into it. Eventually coming back to center. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press your way back into a tabletop position. Close your eyes, please. Do anything that is organically working for you right now. Into cow-cat variations. You can spin your hips around from one side to the other. Drawing your chest forward, gradually finding a little bit more gentle rounding into your lower back. Eventually, separating your knees a little bit, toes are together, into child's pose, Balasana. Arms are reaching in front of you. Find the extension in the torso. Then slide your hands behind you so the palms face up. Embryo pose. Feel the entire outside of the back ribs. Pull your way forward. So basically what I like about this shape is after all the work that you just did, it's helping you to contain that energy that you generated. So you're reining it in, you're pulling it in. It's coming around and looping around as you're starting to slow down your breath. Start to soften into the heads of the shoulders a bit more. You can feel the forehead on the floor. Maybe even roll your head around a little bit. Breathing here softly for another 3, 2, 1. Gradually find your way back up, sitting on your heels. Come into hands and knees. Just spin around onto one hip. And slide your legs long in front of you. Roll all the way onto your backs. Place your left foot underneath your left knee. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Flex your ankle. You're creating a sharp triangle between your legs for figure 4. Lift your left foot off the floor, left thigh towards your chest. Right hand can come to your right knee. pulling your right hip, just encouraging it towards the front of the room. Continue to flex and curl your toes towards your shin. You can also flex into your left ankle. I recommend sometimes if you're doing this at home, because it feels so good, in this shape you'd be having your left foot against a wall, so you can really use that leverage to help you pull your left hip back and pull your right knee forward a bit more. Notice if your weight listed over towards the right, level it off by bringing it more towards your left. Gradually settling your left foot down, and just drop your knees over towards your left and turn your right arm out to the right. Close your eyes, please, and find a spinal twist. Find the twist in your lower back as you draw your right knee closer to the floor. Find the twist and sensation in the upper back, the thoracic spine, as you drop your right shoulder to the floor a bit more. Slowly find your way back to center. Unwind yourselves. Right foot underneath your right hip. Draw your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Draw your right knee to your chest. You might notice a bit of a different sensation from one side to the other. As you pull your right more, draw your left knee closer towards the front of the room with that sharp triangle between your legs. Continue to flex and curl into the ankles and the toes. Breathing softly here. Try to find a sense of softness in your jawline and the space between your eyebrows as well. There is a correlation between tension in the hips and overall tension in the jawline. Placing your right foot to the floor, drop your knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. Find the sensation of twist in the lower back, left hip closer to the floor. Sense of twist in the upper back, left shoulder closer to the floor. And just relax into this twist for another 3, 2, and 1. Gradually find your way back up. Lengthening both in front of you, let your feet and knees roll open, arms by your sides. If there's any other shape that you would feel more comfortable in coming into your conscious rest of Shavasana, I encourage you to find it. And just like at the beginning of class, but now with your arms long extended, take a breath in for 3, 2, 1. And breath out for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 3, 2, 1. Continue to soften into your breath. I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana as long as you comfortably can. It's this sense of stillness, sense of softness that makes your entire practice of yoga make sense, and it makes it all worthwhile. And I encourage you to come back to your mat again and again and again. Just let everything go. If you would like to stay in your Shavasana for a nice long period of time, please do so. Otherwise, you can bring some movement into your fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. You can generate a little bit more awareness to the sensations in your bodies. Gradually bring your arms way long overhead and take a long, full breath in. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go. Bend your knees, bring your knees into your chest, roll over onto your right side. Draw your left cooling side on top of your right fiery side. Restore your balance, sealing your practice. With your eyes remain closed, eventually find your way into a comfortable cross-legged seated position, just like you were at the beginning of class. Perhaps feeling a little bit freer, a little bit calmer, a little bit more open. Bring the palms together at the center of your chest. Take a full long breath in. Feel that lift up of the chest to the heels of the hands. Open our mouths and exhale, let it go. Honoring the light in you that is the light in me. I thank you so much for sharing it with me. Namaste. I'm Teri, and have a great day.